well, well, well. Hello, everyone. Welcome again to my channel. I'm Agent, and we are going to continue a. Yeah, sorry, I got distracted. And we're going to continue our reaction to the My Hero Academia fanfiction, Bloodthirst. And what?
Okay.
Okay, so let me just get everything ready. Let me just confirm that I'm heard on the stream. I think everything's going good. And with no further ado, let's continue. Let me just pause the music and stop the music. It's fast like a bullet. We'll do everything you want. Okay, so again, the order that we're going to be doing, and since these all are ex-reader characters, but ex-reader fanfictions, we decided that our OZ is going to be Athena, name Athena, last name King, because yes. And so we shall continue chapter 5, Bloodthirst. So let's get going. A little recap. Let me just remember. Yeah. So we're vampires. We were, how do you say this? Castaway? I can't remember the word, but you could say we were cast away by our family because we couldn't control our bloodthirst. Haha, roll credits. And well, we were teletransported on the world of My Hero Academia. We met Izuku because, of course, we will met him. He was a sweet boy, and he decided to help us by technically adopting us. And also, his mother, Inko, is helping us. She's such a beautiful woman. And what happened next? Oh, we met Kachan. No, nay, we fought Kachan. And he was weirded out because we leaked his blood because the fight and everything. Yeah. And I think the last thing that it said was that our family didn't meant for us to be like, well, they told them it was going to be safe for us to. I can feel. I don't remember the word. Uh, uh, I'll keep saying castaway, but I hope you understand. Like the magicians, mages, told our fathers that are the king and queen from vampire world, and they told us, no, don't worry, it's going to be safe. You're going to keep monitoring her, but ha ha ha, they can't find us. And apparently, it was because they are protecting, or there were someone else's orders. And yeah, I think that's what happened on the last episodes. So let's continue. Chapter 5, Shop Till You Drop. Let me just get the mouse here. Ah, that night you dreamt of something terrible. It hadn't been so. Sorry. It hadn't been long since you'd been banished from your world. That's the word. But it was clear that this nightmare was more than just homesickness. It was a manifestation of your conscious and subconscious fears. And now that you made a friend in Izuku, those fears felt like they were at risk of coming true. The nightmare was disturbingly simple. At first, there was only darkness all around you, but the scene gradually began to fade in. Actually, you heard the sounds before you saw anything. It was an awful familiar sound, the sound of blood being sucked straight from a person's body. The person was Izuku, and his neck was drenched in blood to the point that you could hardly even make out his skin anymore. His green eyes were lifeless, wide open but unmoving. No part of him was moving, as a matter of fact. Even though his lips were slit parted, no sound escaped. He was paler than you had ever seen him look before. In spite of all of that, you kept on drinking his blood. You couldn't stop. It was just like when you nearly killed your friend back home. Except this time, no one was here to intervene. Izuku was dead, and it was all your fault. Damn. You woke up gasping for breath. Sorry. You woke up gasping for breath in the middle of the night. It felt as though your entire body has been seized by tremors. When you blink, a few tears slipped down your cheeks. You felt cold. You felt cold all over. Normally, you enjoyed cool sensations, but this was different. It was if it was as if your blood has turned to ice. You were petrified by what you seemed in your nightmare. By what you might. I was doing so well. Damn it. By what you might want go. Ah! By what you might one day go on to do. You swallow, and it felt as though a big lump was stuck in your throat. It was okay. Just a nightmare. It didn't mean anything. You were just under a lot of stress right now, which was understandable, considering your entire life has been unproved. Still, you were too shaken up to go back to sleep right away. So you quietly creeped out of the guest room, doing your best not to wake anyone. You ended up in the kitchen, where you poured yourself a glass of cold water. Quenching your parched throat helped you calm down a bit, although your fingers hadn't stopped shaking since the moment You've woken up. Athena? Apparently, you weren't the only one awake. Izuku stepped out of the bathroom and spotted you standing around. Before you could say anything, he was already walking over to you. And even though none of the lights were turned on, the faint moonlight coming in through the kitchen window must have allowed him to get a good look at your expression. It didn't take a long time for panic to settle across his face. Is everything all right? You look like you've been crying. Oh, I'm really not trying to be insensitive or anything. I'm just worried. That's all. You set your glass down and forced a smile. I'm okay. I just had a pretty bad nightmare. That sucks. He mumbled sympathetically. Is there anything I can do to help? No, I think I'm just overreacting. None of that stuff is real. I just need a few minutes to calm down, and then I'll be able to go back to sleep. Don't stay up on my account. I felt bad if you didn't get enough sleep because of me. It's really no bother. No bother. Unless you mind if I keep you company? Go right ahead. Instead of just standing there in the dark, you both headed towards the living room. Turn, off, turn on one of the lamps, then grab a seat on the couch. You hastily wipe up your eyes before meeting Izuku's gaze again. You didn't know just how upset you look right now, but you didn't want to worry him needlessly, on top of everything else he was already doing for you. Izuku hesitated before speaking again. Do you think it's because we ran into Kachan earlier today? You're really strong, but I wouldn't blame you if you were a bit frightened. He tends to have that effect on people. No way, you chuckled. I'm not scared of that bully one bit. Oh, my bad, he said sheepishly. What kind of nightmare was it? If you don't mind asking. Was it one of those super random ones where you can't predict what sort of scary stuff might happen next? Your lips settled into grimace. The very opposite, actually. It was completely predictable, and that's the part that terrifies me, because it's not pure fiction. Uh, kind of. You lied. You said, you know, like a liar. There was no point in confessing your fears to him. All it would do was probably get you kicked out of the house with nowhere to live. Isoka was a good guy, so you knew you had to tell him about your past eventually, but you were just too scared right now. You needed a bit more time to prepare yourself. Then, no matter what his reaction was, even if he was disgusted beyond belief and no longer wanted anything to do with you, you'd have no choice but to accept it. Izuku offered you a timid smile. Okay, I get it. Sorry if it felt like I was being too noisy. Nightmares aren't real, even if they sometimes feel that way. Everything's going to be okay, so don't let it get you down. All right? Oh, yeah. Thanks, Izuku. You appreciated his kindness. and it hurt that he didn't even realize the sort of risk he was taking by just being around you. But you didn't exactly have a way around it. One way or another, you needed to become strong enough to resist succumbing to your urges. It was the only way forward. You never wanted to be the reason for another person's suffering. Never again. Izuku stayed with you for a bit longer, and when some time passed, you were feeling a lot better than before. You walked to your room and smiled encouragingly, after which you both say goodnight. You didn't expect to fall asleep as easily as you did. No more nightmares plagued your thoughts, and the next time your eyelids flew open, it was already morning. Izuku really is amazing. He was able to put my worries to rest, just like that. It was then that you remembered you were actually going to make it to the shopping district today, and the excitement had jumping out of the bed right away. Thankfully, Ink already had breakfast ready, and after calling out to him, Adrosi and Johnny Nizuko greeted you at the dining table. You shoveled your foot down so quickly that you nearly choked on it. You just couldn't wait to see more of what this world had to offer. Wow! So this is the shopping district? It was so much bigger than you had been expecting. Your eyes were glossy and white as you took the sight before you. Granted, you've grown up in a castle, back in your world, there was not. I was doing so well. Damn it! Granted, you grew up in a castle, but back in your world, there was no such thing as such a grand collection of stores. Most of them were rather small, either family-owned businesses or other private affairs, and there certainly weren't so many of them all in one place. As always, there were people flocking about in droves. That was another thing that was vastly different from your world where you were used to. So many people, nearly all the time. This world was far more densely populated than much was for sure. You don't have these sort of places back home, do you? Izuku frowned. Actually, you seem to be completely out of touch with any modern technologies, so I guess it makes sense. There bound to be a lot of difference between our worlds. You keep on gapping as you looked around. Some people that passed that some people that passed by gave you all sorts of funny looks, since your oohing and eyeing was making you stand out like sore thumb. It would obviously take a lot of getting used to, but in a way, it was a lot of fun, getting to learn about so many new things. I'll take you to a few different stores to look around, Izuku offered. He paused, then blushed a bit. But, I'm really not good when it comes to fashion at all, so I'm not sure how useful my opinions will be. It's probably best, it's probably best to just go around with your gut. Ah, that's fine. I'm sure I'll find something I liked. Even the styles of clothing in this world seem to be vary so much than back in your own. There were various designs of dresses and suits that royals and nobles wore, but they still followed the same kind of formula. The attire of common folk especially was less extravagant and most wore similar type of outfits. By comparison, you could hardly predict what people might wear around here. There were certain things that you would have never imagined being worn as clothes, but it didn't seem to deter people in the slightest. In the spirit of being open-minded, you decided you would give almost everything a chance. What about in here? Izuku nudged, pointing towards one of the stores. It seems like they have pretty big selection, I think, at least. Again, I'm not good with this stuff. If you don't like what they have on display, just let me know and we can go somewhere else, okay? You nodded ah! You nodded enthusiastically before rushing inside and browsing what the store had to offer. Izuku kept on saying that he didn't have much of a fashion sense, but given the fact that you had almost no knowledge of this world, you were certain yours was even worse. But at the end of the day, you could really care less if what you wore was considered stylish or not. As long as you liked your choices and felt as though you looked good in them, that was all that mattered. Thankfully, the large selection made it almost impossible not to find something that caught your eye. Your excitement was also a big contributing factor. As a result, You picked countless clothes off their hangers and blitzed through the rest of the store at a breakneck pace. Izuku could hardly keep up with you. Hi, hi there, as a lady smiled at you, presumably one of the staff. Would you like to try those on? Yes, please. You beam. All right. Well, we have a 10 item. Ah, all right. We have a 10 item limit, and it seems like you grab quite a bit more than that. So pick the ones you want to try on first. You've never heard of an item limit before, but every world has their own rules, you suppose. You quickly sorted through the clothes wrapped over your arm and grabbed the ones that you were most excited to try it out. Then you were brought back to the changing rooms. Izuku waved at you with a wobbly little smile and said he was going to stay in the waiting area. There was a mirror inside your changing room so that you could get a good look at yourself on after trying on each outfit. But you weren't content with just that. Since Izuku had come with you, it felt natural to get a second opinion. Izuku! You exclaimed, pulling the curtain back and rushing out. What do you think of this one? Does it look pretty on me? Huh? Oh! Perhaps you shouldn't have phrased the question that way, because it only took a few moments for Izuku's freckled cheeks to turn red. You'd come to realize that he was on the shyer side, which made it difficult for him to look you in the eyes while you happily trail around and model your first outfit. It looks good, he nodded, covering his face with his palms and peering out from in between fingers. Just good? Um, better than good. It looks really pretty. Sorry, I'm just bad at this kind of stuff, so you chuckled. Perhaps it was fair to keep pushing. It wasn't fair to keep pushing. You chuckled. Perhaps it wasn't fair to keep pushing him. You knew that his responses were genuine though. No matter how embarrassed stupid microphone, sorry. No matter how embarrassed he was about voicing them. And you liked the outfit as well, so you suppose this one was a keeper. Oh, oh, no. Oh, you suddenly realize. You move closer to Izuku and turn around. The tags are on the back. How much all the blah. The tags are on the back. How much do all these things cost? I'm not familiar with the currency of this world and what is or isn't expensive, but I definitely wouldn't want to put you out. I promise I'll pay you back as soon as I make some money, but I still don't want to borrow. Oh, wait, what's happening here? Sorry. The sorry. I don't know. It was strange. My cell phone was just. Huh. Anyway, so. Oh my gosh, stop! Notifications. Damn it. And where was I? But I still don't want to borrow too much from you in the meantime. Yeah, I'm not a gold digger. Isuku shook his head. No, don't worry about the money. You're already dealing with a lot. Besides, it'll be hard to earn much money at our age. My mom already said that she'd covered the cost, and I'm sure it's totally fine. For some reason, he didn't finish his sentence. When you twist your neck to get a better look at him, you realize his expression was stiff as a rock. It's fine, he managed to breathe out, but it certainly didn't look fine. What was I saying again? Oh, right. Money is not an issue. This much money isn't an issue at all. Ah, the clothes you were wearing were definitely too expensive. I'll try something else. You smiled. The outfit was certainly cute, but you didn't doubt that you'd be able to find another one, just like you use as much. Seriously, don't worry about it, Izuku spluttered. Adina, you're literally a princess. It wouldn't be right to let you walk around in cheap material and um Izuku, I don't really mind. Let me know what's within your budget and I can work with it. We've got plenty of stores to pick on after all. I know I'll find something perfect I know I'll find something perfect eventually. You grinned. He bowed his head, looking a bit ashamed. All right, I'm really sorry about this. What are you talking about? You've done nothing but help me since I've come to this world. Please don't never apologize, not even for a moment. You patted, uh, there. You patted, not there. Damn it! You patted him on the back to reassure him that everything was fine. More than fine, actually. You've been terrified of what might happen to you during your banishment, but you'd been incredibly fortunate to meet someone as kind as Izuku. Even though his new situation was still a bit frightening, you look you lucked out big time. It turned out that the first store you tried had quite a steep price range, so you decided to look somewhere else. Thankfully, uh, sorry. Thankfully, there were so many different styles to choose from that it didn't take long to find more outfits you were excited to try on. You consulted with Isoku each time, and since the cost was reasonable, you proceed to make your first purchase since coming to this world. Well, Isoku made the purchase for you, but it was pretty much the same thing. Just wait a second, Izuku says shyly. I have to use the bathroom. Are you okay to wait a bit? I'll be back quick, I promise. You nodded happily. Mm-hmm. I'll wait right here and won't move an inch. I won't move an inch. Ugh. There it is. As it turned out, that was a big fat lie. Because after waiting for scarcely more than a minute, your eyes started to wander towards other stores. You hadn't really planned on leaving your post, but you couldn't help it. Everything here was so new and exciting. Before you even realized it, you already walked past countless windows displays and ventured far from where Izuku had left you. Ha ha ha! Oh no, you mutter. I think I'm lost. I should have just stayed put. Stupid me. You were panicking a bit. Even though your sense of smell and hearing were quite sharp, it was difficult to pick Izuku out from the distance, especially since there were so many people. It was loud and rather disorienting. You did your best to inhale deeply and enter a sort of meditative state so that you could better focus on locating him, but it wasn't really working out. It was at the moment that someone bumped into you. Oh no. Oops, the boy apologized. He collected the bags that he dropped, but the second he laid eyes on you, a smile bloomed across his face. Whoa, a super pretty girl. This is my lucky day. Oh no, who's this? The stranger who'd compliment you looked to be around your age, an adolescent at the very least. He had blonde hair with a distinct black lightning bolt streak and slightly upcurved golden brown eyes. His smell was fragrant, similar to Izuku's. It was flashy in a way. You weren't sure if this was the right term to describe it, but it certainly left a strong impression. Uh, oh, you blinked. Um, thank you for saying that. Oh, she actually responded to me instead of looking at me like I'm trash. The boy wasted no time extending his hand out. I'm Kaminari Denki. What's your name? It's him! Athena, you smiled, shaking his head. Actually, this was a stroke of luck. Maybe this friendly stranger could help you find your way back to Izuku. Sorry if this is a bother, but do you think you can help me out a bit? Kaminari's eye glinted with excitement. Sure, he grinned. Of course I'll help. What do you need? Well, it's my first time coming here, and I'm actually kind of lost. I was with a friend earlier, but we got separated. Oh, is that all? Can't you just message or call your friend to tell them where you're at? How would I do that? He gave you a funny look. Um, with your phone? But I don't have a phone. What? A teenager that doesn't own a phone? I didn't know people like you still existed in this day and age. He took a few moments to think things through, then cleared his throat. It's okay though. All we need to do is go to the customer service desk and we can put an announcement. They do these sort of things all the time for children that get separated from their parents. I mean, that's kind of true. She got separated but because she was banished. Sorry. You nodded eagerly. Okay, that would be great. Thank you so much, Caminari. You're really nice to take the time to do this for me. Camin what was that? Caminari being a light flush dust in his cheeks. It's no problem at all. Come on, just follow me. Follow me. With Caminari's assistance, Jim managed to speak with one of the mall staff, and they promptly put out an announcement helping you to get in touch with your friend. Midoriya Izuku. I repeat, Midoriya Izuku. I don't know how the megaphones work. Athena is waiting for you at the customer service desk on the third floor. Once again, this message is for Midoriya Izuku. Athena is waiting for you at the customer service desk. Thank you for your patience. The freckled boy came rushing over almost immediately. Athena! He cried out. His cheeks were flushed, probably from running, and there was no mistaking the worry on his expression. I'm sorry, this is all because I took too long, isn't it? We could have gone separated for good. It's really, really busy in here, so let's stick together from now, okay? Caminari pouted. He's not your boy. He's not your boy. Exactly. He's not your boyfriend, isn't he? Boyfriend? Izuku sputtered. No, we're just friends. Phew, I still have a chance. Caminari pulled out his cell phone, that strange device that pretty much everyone seemed to have, then gestured eagerly towards Izuku. Hey man, is it okay if I give you my friend? Hey man, is it okay if I give your friend my number? She says she doesn't have a phone yet, but maybe she'd like to stay in touch. What do you think, Athena? Okay, you smiled. That'd be nice. I don't have a phone yet, but Izuku can hold into your number until I get one. Sweet! Let's become number bros, Midoriya. Izuku looked adorably nervous as he exchanged numbers with Kaminari. Maybe all three of you could become good friends and end up hanging out together sometime. Cool. Well, I'm glad everything worked out. Kaminari grinned. I still got some more shopping to do, so I'm gonna get back to it. Let's talk soon. Yeah. You happily wave him off, then turn back to you happily wave him off, then turn back towards Suku with a sheepish smile. Sorry, Suku. You told me to wait, but I got excited and started looking to a bunch of different stores. It sounds like this cell phone thing is quite important. Is it difficult to obtain one? Not really, Isuku chuckled. Actually, while we're here, it'd be good to buy you a phone. It definitely would help you reach out to me in case anything ever happens. Is it expensive? You asked, brown dropping. You already bought me so many things. Some of them can be pretty expensive, but that's only if you go far for the latest models. We can start with something basic and easy to use. It won't cost too much, so don't worry. Besides, this is something you need. He added, smiling gently. I was I want to make sure you have everything important so that you can feel comfortable in our world. He's so cute. You nodded appreciatively. Thank you, Izuku. It's probably going to keep on saying this. I'll probably keep on saying this a lot because I seem to be getting more and more in depth to you. It's okay. Helping others make me happy. Being able to do this for you it actually means a lot. The two of you walk side by side by both with vivid expressions. Despite the little hiccup earlier, this was shaping up to be a great day. Ah! This is so beautiful. We're getting a cell phone. Oh my goodness. Mm. Oh, I needed water. Okay, so we've met Kaminari. We've met Tenki. I'm sure this is going to be so fun. I mean, he was kind of smart, no? Like, let's go to the customer service desk. That was pretty smart, actually. Anyways, chapter 6 Get Scolded. Scolded. No. How do you pronounce this word? Scolded. School. Because school. School. Getting. I'll just say schooled. It was a few days into your stay in this world. Almost nailed it. It was a few days into your stay in this new world, and you finally managed to get your hands on the magical device known as a cell phone. How does it work? You ask, eyes wide as you looked it over all look it over from all angles. You tapped on the screen, but nothing happened. Mine doesn't light up the way the others do. Did they sell us a faulty product? Izuku giggled. I'll turn on. It'll turn on. It'll turn on. Don't worry. You just need to plug it in so it can charge like this. And you hold down the power button for it to start up. He fiddled with the cable that plugged directly into the device on one end, then into the wall through what Izuku called an outlet. You weren't familiar with any of this stuff, so it may as well have been sorcery to you. But true to Izuku's word, the phone screen eventually lit up and all sorts of vibrant colors and patterns soon graced your eyes. Wow! You gushed. How does it do that? It looks so cool. This is just where technology is. Yeah, this is just where technology is at is in this world. As it is. You can read that part. Izuku, sure. Cell phones used to be a lot more basic, just for making calls and sending texts, but now they've become mini computers. They can do a lot of really sophisticated stuff. What's a computer? Right. I guess I should have expected that. He pointed towards the end of his room, towards what looked to be another screen, but way bigger than the cell phones. Computers are devices that are really smart. They are programmed that way. You can look up all kind of information with them, play games, watch videos. There's really no end to the possibilities. Cell phones are really convenient because they act like computers, but they're portable, so you can carry them around with you everywhere you go. It's pretty neat, huh? This is life changing, you mumbled breathlessly. Isuko laughed. Yeah, you could definitely say that. Here, I'll teach you how to use your phone. It sounds more complicated than it actually is. I promise. That's what that was what he said. But it sure didn't turn out that way to you. There were so many different little features on the screen. Some of them didn't some of them did things when you tapped on them, others didn't. Isuke was doing his best to show you how everything worked, but it was such a staggering difference from what you were used to that it was, yeah, I surrender. I can't read. Anyways, for the time being, I'm going to add myself as a contact, Izuku said. He tapped on the screen a few times, not that you could really make sense of it, then eventually passed the phones back to you, smiling brightly. See? You have your first contact now. That's my name right there. That's name, that's my name right there. You blinked. What does it say? Hmm? What do you mean? It's my name. Midoriya Izuku. No, I mean, I can tell there's something written there, but I can't read it. The symbols don't make any sense to me. Oh my gosh. That's perfect. That's amazing. Panic was quick to creep into Izuku's expression. You can't read kanji or hiragana, but you've been speaking in fluent Japanese the entire time. I'm not even really sure how that happened either. It might be a side effect of the spell that brought me to this world, but I was able to understand the language pretty quickly just by hearing it a few times. I definitely don't know how to read it or write it though. Oh, well, that's not good. What do you mean? This is perfect. Hisoka swallowed, and it was clear that he was putting it lightly, for better or worse. This country Japan was your home now. You were kind of screwed if you didn't have the ability to grasp written forms of communication. Oh no. Izuku purred his lips, clearly lost in thought, then grabbed a blank piece of paper and placed it in front of you. He brought some pencils as well. Try writing your name, he suggested. If you were able to understand her language just by being exposed to it, maybe it's the same way the reading and writing too. Maybe it'll come as much quicker than you think. You decided there was no harm in trying, so you did that. This is how you write my name. You smiled proudly, lifting up the paper so that Izuku could see it better. Regretfully, he just looked even more worried than before. I definitely never seen anything like this before, he stammered. I'm pretty sure there's no language like this anywhere on Earth. Then again, I guess that's not surprising since you're literally from a whole different world. You frowned, then took another peek back at your contact at the contact that at the contact Izuku had saved on your phone. No matter how hard you tried, you failed to understand how the symbols were meant to translate. You were lucky to have grasped the spoken language right away. Otherwise, you would definitely been speaking in gibberish on the streets, and people would have thought you were insane. Unfortunately, as for reading and writing, it looked like you were going to have to learn it the hard way. I'll do my best to teach you the basics, Isako reassured. But while you're here, I think it'd be good to consider going to school. You'll learn everything you need there, and there's a limit to what I can teach you all on my own. Sounds fun. You beamed. Have you been to Have you been to school before? Not really. My parents hired various tutors to teach me academics back at my home. All right. I guess royalty have a different way of doing things, but he perked up. I'm sure you probably receive all the really solid education, so you have no trouble picking up things up here. It might seem intimidating at first, but you're smart, Athena. I'm sure you'll be able to figure it out. How do you know that I am smart? You asked. Well, aren't you? Am I? Oh my gosh, that's sure. You both stared at you both stared at each other for a good while. Clearly, this was a stalemate. Anyways, Isugu continued. I'm going to start with the foundations of all the basics, and you can learn to write your name while we're doing this. It'll be a good first step. You gripped your pencil tight and nodded, eager to learn. Japanese was hard. I can understand you. I tried to learn once Japanese. I failed and I left it. I'm such a failure. I can understand the struggle in this part. Actually, you suppose you should say that learning a new language from scratch was hard in and itself. But based on what Izuku had told you, Japanese was one of the most difficult languages to learn in this world, especially for a non-native speaker. So yeah, that was great. Even so, you weren't deterred in the slightest. It wasn't like there was much you could do about it. After all, moving to a different country all of a sudden certainly wasn't an option. Plus, you weren't willing to sever your connection with Izuku either. This was your home now, and you had a good belief about this place. You just needed to put in the effort to make it your own. Izuku did what he could to teach you, but attending to school was obviously the most efficient approach. Actually, getting into school, however, was a different matter altogether. You'd initially been thinking that your stay with Izuku would be a temporary one, but you were already afraid of being separated from him. You didn't know what you would do if you were left alone. Teenagers like you weren't allowed to live on their own, so most likely you would end up being placed in orphanage since no one was around to take care of you. Frankly speaking, you hated the thought of that, and you decided to pull out all the stops and come clean into Inko. I'm from a different world. You blurred out suddenly over dinner. Izuku's food quite literally fell out of his mouth from shock, and Inko gave you a funny look. Although she didn't seem to working up over it. She probably just thought you were saying silly things as a joke. Is this some sort of reference I'm not getting? She frowned. No, you said sheepishly. I'm really telling the truth. I didn't want you to try and contact the police or anything because I don't have a family to return to. At least, not in this world. I ended up here one day and Izuku was nice enough to help me out when I had nowhere to go. I was thinking of keeping this a secret because I figured I would only be staying here for a little while, but I'm honestly scared to leave. I don't know where I'll go. Inko probably still didn't believe you, but her expression seemed more solemn now. Athena, she said gently, what's going on at home? You can tell me. No matter what it is, I'll do everything in my power to make sure you're safe. Oh, I know, it's not a it's ah. She still thought you came from a complicated family, and probably assumed you didn't want to go back home to be around with your parents. If you went with that story, though, at some point you worried she would really, she really would get the authorities involved. No, even if this was a long shot, you needed to convince her. She was Isuka's mom, and she already knew your secret. You just hoped that even though she was an adult, she wouldn't dismiss you as some troubled teen. Ugh, making up excuses. Athena, wait, Isuka mumbled. But you already stepped out of your chair and begun moving closer to Inko. She watched, looking confused beyond measure, as you opened up your mouth and revealed your teeth, which sharp into fangs. You knew it would probably take more than this to convince her, but it was a start, at least. I'm a vampire, you said. I need to drink blood to survive. My world is very different from this one, filling with all kinds of creatures and different species that don't exist over here. Inko swallowed uncomfortably. Uncomfortable. Comfortably. Athena, I'm not sure where I'm not sure where you're going with this, but I really, really want you to be honest with me. You don't need to make up stories. What exactly is going on with you and your family? I wish it was a story. You sighed heavily. My parents aren't with me. They're back in my old world. Vampires like me are pretty strong and heal quickly too. Don't you think it's weird how fast my injuries healed up? I got hurt pretty bad in 2 days in a row, but I'm already good. I'm already good. I'm already as good as new. Instead of giving you a direct answer, Inko glowered towards his son, who had gone awfully quiet. Izuku, she frowned. She seemed to be searching his expression. Oh my gosh! I can't. No, I can't do this. Izuku, she frowned. She seemed to be searching his expression for some sort of explanation. Athena, what is she? She is telling the truth, Izuku mumbled. Mom, I know it sounds all super ridiculous, but I don't like to lie to you. Athena doesn't even know how to read or write, not just in Japanese, but in any language for that matter. She has no clue about how technology works either. You could ask her when the Second World War took place, and even what it is, and she wouldn't have a clue. Inka's bottom lip trembled. What the? This is all sounding very strange, you two. Izuku, are you sure your friend is alright? This is a serious matter, so I'm begging you, don't play games with me. It's not a game, Mom. It's not a game, Mom. It's not a game, Mom. We're serious. About vampires? But that sounds not possible. I could show you if you want. Izuku let me drink his blood back. Izuku let me drink his blood before, back when I really needed it. Oops. Perhaps that wasn't the best thing to say to a mother, especially when it involved her own son. But Izuku backed up your statement with a harshly nod, all all while blushing profusely. My parents don't exist in this world. You continue, looking a bit more dejected now. I promise I'm not lying. I didn't even know about quirks or any of that until Izuku explained them to me. You could just call about all the police in the country, but I can guarantee that nobody will be able to register me anywhere. It's a crazy situation, and I know how it sounds. but it is the truth. She've gone completely silent, and you were actually a bit worried that she was going to turn you in and have you committed to some sort of mental institution. But thankfully, Inku really was Asuka's mom. She was kind to at fault. Her shoulders sagged. Oh, goodness, I don't even know what to say. Okay then, let's say for the sake of the argument that I believe you. I would still want some sort of proof. Sorry, I'm just my chair is getting weird. Oh my gosh, stupid chair. Ah, sorry, I cannot sit well. Ah, damn it. Hold on a second. Mm, yeah, where we're good. Thanks for coming to my channel. Oh my goodness, I can't talk. I can't. Uh, where were we? Yeah, right. Um, her shoulders sagged. Goodness, I don't even know what to say. Okay then, let's say for the sake of the argument that I believe you. I would still want some sort of proof. Mm, you could wait out for a little while to see how close I'll get to dying. What? You could wait out for a little. that's that's amazing. She's a genius. You could wait out for a little while and see how close I'll get to dying if I don't drink any blood. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's amazing. Both Izuku and Iku stare back at you in abject terror. Okay, so that suggestion was a dud. I could hurt myself really bad. And then show you how quickly I heal up once I to drink blood. Oh my goodness. Strange. They didn't seem to keen to that one either. Oh my gosh. Oh, she's a genius. In that case, I'm fresh out of ideas. You sure? Oh god. Mom, we're really telling the truth, Izuku insisted. I don't know if it can really be proven, but Athena knows nothing about our world. It just doesn't seem like something that would be that would be possible unless she wasn't actually from here. She has nowhere to go. If you call the cops, social services, or whatever, she'll be alone. And I really don't want that for her. Oh my god. Inka stared at you for a few good moments. Out of nowhere, she gripped you by the shoulders and squeezed down tight. I'll only ask I'll only ask this one more time, he said sternly. Your family. They haven't done anything to make you too afraid to go back home? Enough that you would make up a crazy story like this to convince me to let you stay? You smiled. No, I'm not scared of my parents. I can't say they're as nice as you, but I didn't leave home voluntarily. One day I'm going to find a way to get back to my world, no matter what it takes. Inku let out a sudden, shudden breath. It, it really doesn't look like you're lying. At the very least, I can see it in your eyes. Or maybe you're just a terribly good liar and have me completely fooled. Oh, all right. If you really don't have nowhere else to go, and since you're the uh, and since you're the first friend Isuku had in a long time, then yes, you can keep staying here with us. Yay! It hardly took a second for you and Isuku to break out into cheers. Yay! Yeah! You exclaimed, rushing towards your friend and grabbing him into a big hug. He reacted with a nervous little squeak and bright red flush, the way he always did. But he too seems to share your enthusiasm. We get to stay together, you grinned. I don't have to leave you. I don't have to leave and find somewhere else to live. I'm so happy. Yeah, he dimmed back. This is great news. Thank you so much, Mom. Thank you for helping us out. Inku smiled warmly. It was worth it just to see the look in your faces. If nothing else, I still don't know if what I believe, but I can tell Athena is a good girl. For now, that's more than enough. She's so cute. Oh, right. Izuku blinked in realization. In realization, she needs, she needs to, she needs to attend school. That's the whole reason she wanted to tell you the truth. If she goes to school with me, she can learn a whole lot more about a world in this way. I'm trying to teach her as much as I can, but it's harder than expected. School? Well, I can try enrolling her into your middle school, but I'm pretty sure I'll have to be her legal guardian for that to work. Inko nibbled at her lower lip. It'll be difficult to obtain those documents, especially if there's no record of Athena to begin with. I'm not sure how it'll go. It's worth a shot. You grinned completely unbothered. You were on cloud nine right now, and it was going to be the damn hard to dash your spirits. Which was why the very next day you dressed up all pretty in one of your new outfits and made a prompt visit to Izuku's middle school, which would hopefully be attending soon. Both Inko and Izuku had come along with you. Naturally, they found yourself face to face with the school's principal. Currently, he was staring down at your admissions documents with a puzzled expression. Different last name? I see. Mr. I see. Mrs. Midoriya, do you have legal guardianship on this child? Not yet, Inko stammered out. But she's been staying at our home for a little while. I can provide food. I can provide proof of our living conditions, and she's been properly taken care of. Well, you can get in contact with this child's family. My whole family's dead. You jump a little too eagerly, perhaps. Izuku and his mom are um, very, very, very distant friends of one of my late relatives, so they took me in. The principal gave you a look of disbelief. Uh huh. Well, my hands are tied. My hands are tied here. It sounds like a complicated situation, but I can't very well, but I can very well allow someone to enroll a child that they don't have legal custody of. Sort out the matter of court first, and try to transfer in later. From what Itsugu had told you, these legal matters could take a long time, and quite frankly, you didn't feel like waiting. There was also the issue of getting other people involved. You didn't need anyone poking their nose into your business, and realizing how many things about you just didn't add up. It would raise a whole lot of undue suspicion. Worst case scenario, the authorities would take you away from Izuku by force. There was no there was no chance you were going to let that happen. But thankfully, you had an idea. Admittedly, a reckless one. Oh my gosh. You turned towards Izuku and Inko with a smile. Do you mind waiting outside for a minute? I just want to try and talk to this nice man on my own. Oh no. Sorry, kid. The principal sighed. No matter what you say to me, my answer will be the same. I'm not looking into getting trouble with the law. You, your smile didn't drop. Although Izuku and Inku were staring at you with visible confusion, you still gestured for them to leave the room first. Once you were really alone with the principal, you leaned across the desk. Sorry about this, you mumbled quietly. Huh? What are you? You grabbed him by the arm before he could get a proper reply out, then sunk your fangs onto his skin. He briefly yelped out of pain, and of course, you didn't drink very much blood of him. You didn't need it a lot. After all, you had a different purpose in mind. You're crazy! He winced. Absolutely crazy. I'm really going to call the police now. Don't you dare! You order. The man's hands dropped right as he reached for his phone. You could feel your head throbbing, the way it always did when you tried to use this technique. But at least it seems to be working. Here's what's going to happen. Here's what's going to happen. You smiled. You're going to let me attend this school and the same class as Izuku too. You're not going to stir up a fuss and demand that Inko shows you the paperwork. And you're also not going to tell anyone about what just happened. You're going to forget I've ever beat you, actually. All you need to do is approve my enrollment, and that's that. You snapped your fingers, and just like that, the hypnosis came undone. Oh my god. What? He blinked, glazing all over the place in confusion. I was just. What did I? You were about to celebrate the fact that I'm starting classes tomorrow, right? He stared. He stared at you for a few moments with a vague look of understanding, but eventually nodded his head, suddenly much more sure to him. Sure of the bat. Yeah. Oh, yes, he beamed. That's right. King Athena. Perfect. Yes. It looks like everything I need is in order. And you can start classes as early as tomorrow, you said? Yep. I'm super excited to meet everyone and make tons of friends. That's a good attitude to have. I'm thrilled to welcome you to your new school, Athena. I'm sure the other members of our faculty will feel the same way once they find you. Awesome! I'll get plenty of sleep tonight so that I can be ready for school bright and early. You grinned. Thank you so much for everything, Mr. Nice Principal. It was lovely to meet you. The principal chuckled softly and waved you off up until you left his office. Once your door was fully shut, he did allow himself to wince, then unrolled his sleeve and furrowed his brows in confusion. Are, are these bite marks? How in the world? Back on your side of the door, Izuku was all over you, breathing, breathing incessantly. Athena, are you okay? It sounded like he got angry with you for a moment, and we thought we heard yelling. As expected, is a no-go, huh? What are you talking about? You proved my admission, huh? Both Izuku and Inku were staring you with bewilderment. Your head was still aching quite a bit, and it would probably continue to do for a little while. But it was worth it. You normally hated putting people under the effects of your hypnosis after drinking some of their blood. It felt like a slimy thing to do, and it kind of was. It kind of was, but you really wanted to go to school with Izuku. It was just one this time. Just this once. Don't worry about it, you grinned. I have my ways. You said that, but you've been lucky that it even worked, since you weren't good at just since you since you didn't use hypnosis such. I can rephrase this. You've been lucky because you're not used to use hypnosis to begin with, because maybe this was fate. This there was a saying that everything happened for a reason after all. Izuku peered over while you walked through the walls, his eyes narrowing. Um, Athena, that's not blood on your lips, is it? Oopsie. What did you do? Oh my gosh, wait, I'm running out of battery. Ah, there we go. It wasn't all that common that Katsuki found it. Man, this is amazing. It wasn't all that uncommon that Katsuki found himself in a bad mood. But he'd been in an especially bad mood this past couple of days. And it was your damn fault. Finding out that Izuku had somehow made a friend was already irritating enough, but to make matters even worse, you got it on his damn nerves and challenged him to a fight. A fight that hadn't gone as planned. As much as he hated to admit it, he underestimated you. Clearly, you were a lot stronger than you looked, which begged the question to why you hang out with that goddamn loser. Then again, you seem to be one hell of a weirdo to yourself. Katsuki still shrugged every now and then when he remembered the way you greedily slurp up his blood. Seriously, who did that? My shitty mom. Sorry. My shitty mom screamed at me for hours after I got back home looking all beat up like that. Fucking hell. If I ever see that bitch again, I'm gonna make her regret messing with me. Katsuki rubbed at his bruised face and grimaced. Class was a damn boring as always, and it didn't help that he could see that shitty nerd fidgeting in his seat out of the corner of his eye. What the hell did he have about? Ah, damn it! What the hell did he have to be so restless about? It was fucking creepy. Ahem, the teacher said, clearing his throat all of a sudden. It's a bit unexpected during this time of year, but I like to make a moment to introduce a new student to our class. Everyone, please be sure to give her a warm welcome. You can come now, by the way. The door slid open, and Katsuki yawned loudly. Tears pricked in the corners of his eyes as he could care less about whichever extra was joining the class. Hi, everyone! Katsuki eyes widened. That voice. He knew that voice. A pathetic wheeze left his mouth, and he couldn't help the way his jaw dropped nearly all the way to the ground. There was no way. There was just no way. And yet there you were, grinning and waving at everyone, with such, with so much as care out in this world. It was only until your eyes locking with that your expression that your expression changed. But it didn't shape you into discomfort or fear. Instead, you openly smirk at him. You fucking bitch! Katsuki started slamming his palms down on the table loud enough that everyone turned their heads. The teacher gave him a cross look. A cross look. Come on, Bakugo. Let's not start this early in the morning. Be nice to your new classmate. That's right. You keep on smirking. I'm excited to be friends with everyone, including you. Don't you feel the same way? Katsuki officially had on his shit list. Oh my goodness. Oh, this is amazing. Of course, I. How could I forgot he's still in his. How do you say this? His school. Uh, okay. We're going to. We're going to read this chapter, and this could be the last one for today. Chapter 7, Taste of Humiliation. Oh no. He looked at her with. Um, uh, I'm not sure how to read the next part. Sorrowful, the teacher said, awkwardly clearing his throat. Keep going, please. You nodded. He looked at her with a sorrowful expression. The teacher corrected. With a sorrowful expression, and grabbed her by the ham hand, grabbed her by the hand, and then let out a happy sigh. A heavy sigh. The teacher corrected once more, and he proceeded to echo the passage without sight of his own. That was a good attempt, Athena. Perhaps you felt a little nervous reading in front of your new classmates? It's all right. You'll get used to it soon. This is mere reading right now. Katsuki couldn't believe what he was seeing. Even an elementary taught scholar would have no problem reading that passage. Were you illiterate or something? Had always known Izuku was pathetic, but what was he thinking hanging out with a bum like you? Dumbass doesn't even know how to read, Katsuki muttered. I heard that, Bakugo. The teacher frowned. Why do I keep saying about being nice? Yeah, my bad or whatever. Despite the fact that you just publicly embarrassed yourself, you didn't look particularly turned up about it. Actually, it looked to Katsuki like you were proud, which baffled him beyond measure, because that display you just now was definitely not something to take pride in. That was so good! Izuku congratulated you, grin ear to ear. You learned so quick, Athena. I can't even believe how much progress you've made already. You stuck up your nose in the air. I guess I'm even smarter than I initially gave myself credit for. I shouldn't. I should never have thought up any of my abilities. That's amazing. Katsuki watched the exchange unfold and his mouth gaping open in disbelief. Was this meant to be satire? Some sarcastic routine that he just wasn't getting? Was he the idiot for not understanding what the hell you two were talking about? It wasn't just that you were illiterate, though. You seemed to lack the basic knowledge in pretty much all departments, to the point that it had Atsuki that it had Katsuki wondering how the hell did you even pass your previous classes? Athena, the teacher said. Katsuki almost felt sorry for you, because it seems like the dude was calling you a lot more than the others. Probably since you were new. Can you tell me what year the EDU period began? What's that? you repeat shamelessly. You replied shamelessly. Countless students began mumbling amongst themselves. They couldn't tell if you were trying to be funny or really just that ignorant. Come on, the teacher sighed. You've learned this before. The Edo period really really backed your brain. I'll give you a hint. It started sometime during the 17th century. 17th century? You mumbled yourself. Back in your world, a century was measured as a period of hundreds of years. There was no way of knowing if this the same was true to this world. But you decided there was no harm in giving it a shot. So that means it started around the year 1700, right? Everyone stared at you in bewilderment. Katsuki couldn't help but face palm. No, you idiot! He snapped. The 17th century started in the 16th. How the hell did you know? Did you not know basic shit like this? Huh? But the number 17, it ended in the 17th, for fuck's sake! Oh, you reply simply. I guess that makes sense. I'll keep that in mind for the next time. Katsuki was close to gripping out all his hair. Watching you flirt like a fucking dipshit was actually stressing him out. You couldn't read or write properly. You didn't know the most common things in terms of history, not just Japanese history, but major global events but major global events too. And every time the teacher spoke, your eyes were all glossy and white, as if you were a newborn only just committing terms in the world around you. I mean, he's not wrong. Honestly, you belong back with the preschoolers. No, not here with the kids that were less than a year away from entering high school. During the very last period of the day, math, the teacher decided to call you once again. Let me be, Athena, he said. Please come up on the board and solve this equation for me. Katsuki enjoyed tormenting people as much as as an ex dickhead, but this was getting a bit painful to watch, even for him. Oh my gosh. you were you really were thick skinned though. As you walk up to the board, your eyes didn't betray the slightest twinge of nervousness or any other discomfort. Maybe that was maybe that maybe that was one of the benefits of being an idiot. You didn't even realize just how much others were judging you for it. The teacher wasn't testing you like this to be sadistic or something. He seemed genuinely perplexed as how you even made it to how you made it to middle school. It was a mystery how you hadn't been held back up until now. He seemed to be wondering if your placement in this class was some sort of mistake. That was probably why he gave you a relative simple equation to solve. If you couldn't do something like this, then clearly there was an issue. Oh, this is easy. You grinned, and your carefree attitude made Katsuki scoff of his head. Yeah, right. You're just going to royally fuck it up like you've done it with everything else. All done. The teacher blinked. Huh? That quickly? Yes. That's the answer. I suppose this one was fairly straightforward after all. Katsuki frowned his brows. Well, whatever. What you just done was nothing impressive. It was the bare minimum. It was the bare minimum, honestly. Let's try something a bit more complicated, the teacher suggested. He gave you another equation to solve this time, one that would probably give half of the class a bit of trouble. Katsuki had always been smart, so it was a child play for him, but he doubted you'd be able to figure it out with your pain brain at all. Except you did! And super quickly, as a matter of fact. Katsuki grims. How the fuck can she do that, but she doesn't know the most basic shit? Good job, Athena! The teacher looked relieved to know that you weren't that completely hopeless. Maybe just one more to try out? This one is very difficult though. Even third year high schoolers would struggle to solve it, so don't feel discouraged if it doesn't make any sense. The equation was on the board, the equation on the board was difficult to make sense of even for Katsuki. He gritted his teeth in annoyance. Well, the teacher did say it was something that would that wouldn't be covered until the final year of high school, so there was no helping it. This one's easy too, you pinned, and proceed to make a quick work of solving it. Now the teacher, as well as the entire class, was stunned in silence. Incredible, he humbled In astonishment. Athena, it seems like you're gifted when it comes to math. Very nice job. I didn't realize we had such an advanced student in our class. Oh my goodness. For the millionth time in the day, Katsuki was lost of words. Are you cheating or some shit? He couldn't help but cry out. There's no way you can't read or write and don't know the basic history, but can solve complicated problems like that one. You merely scratch your head. How would I cheat? It's math. Plus, I show my steps. How would I know? How would I know to do that if I just guess the answer or something? That's well, Katsuki didn't know what to say. It just didn't make any sense. And that stupid asshole Izuku was still beaming over you, looking immeasurably proud. You two dipshits were, were driving him off of the fucking wall. Before Katsuki could offer could offer up any more protests, the last bell of the day began to chime. Students eagerly got from their seats and started packing their belongings into their bags. The teacher was trying to remind them of some homework that was due for the next class, but everyone was excited to leave and didn't really pay any attention to him. Ha! You happily bounced over to Izuku. School's out. These past days have been a lot of fun. So much more fun than I ever imagined. Yeah, he smiled back. I'm glad you've been enjoying yourself, and you're really doing a great job. You should be proud. Thank you. Let's head home. Yep, the two of you were basically attached to the hip, and it made Katsuki sick to his goddamn stomach. Since he was remarkably pretty, he decided to follow you. And no, pity. I mean, he's also pretty. He decided to follow you. Oops! He chuckled, bumping into you. Hard! Once you got in out of the building. His two underlings echoed his amusement. Oh, what are you going to do? Illiterate. What are you going to do, bitch? Start another fight? Lick some blood off your fingers like the creep you are? Kachan! Izuku swallowed nervously. Ah, there it was. That stupid, that stupid noble look in his eyes that Itsuki couldn't just stand. As if he wasn't, as if he was God said doing the whole world a favor. All the while looking down his gut at the. You read it. I'm not. Katsuki narrowed his eyes. What is it? Say what's on your mind, Shididaku. We really don't need to do this right now. Izuku trembled. Just let us go, okay? Izuku was shaking like a leaf in the wind, and it brought a smirk to Katsuki's lips. Right. This was the way it's supposed to be. He needed to realize his place. He was below him. It had always been that way, and it would always continue to be. You, however, didn't appear phased in the slightest. Katsuki has expected as much, since you clearly had much more of a backbone than Izuku, but you needed to learn your place too. He didn't want you getting any funny ideas and thinking you were actually a match for him. What's your problem? You finally said. Izuku hasn't ever done anything to you. I don't get what's fun about I don't get what's fun about going out on your way to make people feel bad. Is your life really that pathetic? Are you just bored out of your mind with nothing better to do? Ikatsuki couldn't help I mean that Katsuki couldn't help the disbelief and scoff that left his lips. You were actually serious. You really wanted to do this. Alright then. He was done playing nice. I've been meaning to kick your ass anyways. He grimaced. He roughly grabbed you by the collar of your shirt and pulled you in, close enough that he was pretty much breathing down your neck. Try me, bitch. He spat. Last time it was a fluke. I was easy. I was going easy on you 'cause you're a girl, but I really shouldn't have. You caught me in a humble mood that day. That's all. You still didn't look scared. Actually, you were smiling. Katsuki's forehead veins were about to pop. I'm seriously going to beat the shit out of you, he threatened. But he didn't get a chance to, because you already bit him right in the neck. Oh! Take that, bitch! Fucking hell, that hurts! It hurt more than anything he'd felt before. He knew he wasn't just imagining. He knew he wasn't just imagining how sharp your damn teeth were. He could he could feel them prodding deep underneath the top layer of his skin, and it didn't stop just at that. You There was a sickening squelching sound right by his ear. You were sucking his blood, like the fucking freak you were. Because I'm a vampire. Katsuki tried to push you up, but his strength was failing him. The sensation was way too strange. It made him gonna puke, but somehow also made his head feel a lit, feel all light and fluttery. His cheeks were burning up. His entire body was burning up, for that matter. You were siphoning blood directly from his body, and the realization that your lips were pressed against his skin didn't help in the slightest. Oh my god, he's such a loser. Get the hell off of me! He screamed, finally muttering up the power to blow you back. He was panting heavily, cheeks flushed like never before. He could see your face clear now. He could see the way your lips were painted red with his blood. And all that too pleased look in your eyes. Yum. Oh my goodness. Yum. You said simply, sweeping your tongue across your lips to lap up the leftovers. Oh my goodness. Holy shit. One of his like his mother. I've always knew she was some kind of weirdo, but she really, really is insane. Katsuki, we should go. I'm not looking to get bitten by her too. To get bitten. Katsuki was still bit red. It was the first time a girl. No shit, he's. Oh my gosh, no way. No way he's focusing on that part. It was the first time. It was the first time a girl had ever been so close to him. In a way, you just kissed his neck. At the very least, your lips had connected directly with his skin. If that wasn't a kiss, then what's that? Fuck, talk about the shittiest first kid. Oh my gosh, I can't. Oh, he's such an imbecile. Oh my god. You're a freak! He managed to say, but his voice came out suddenly shaking and hoarse. His heart was racing right now, and it made him feel absolutely disgusting. Fine by me, you smiled. Pick on, pick on, pick on Suku again, and I'll bite you even harder next time. It's your call. Oh my gosh, that threat. It's not a threat, it's a promise. Oh. Katsuki angrily wiped his hands across the spot on his neck that you bit it into. There was a bit of blood glazing on the surface, no doubt paired with some of your saliva. It felt wet and slimy. Yeah, this was officially the worst date of his life. How fucking dare you! He cried out. You're going to pay for this. Just you wait. He stormed off before he could hear what else you had to say. His two lackeys quickly following suit. You were smiling because you just killed two birds with one stone. You managed to put a bully in his place and got him to drink some yummy blood. It wasn't much, but it was honest work. Izuku looked like he was on the verge of passing out. Athena, you can just do stuff like that, especially without warning me. We're going to have a heart. You're going to give me a heart attack on this. Yeah. Well, it looked like he was about to start a fight, so I decided to strike first and catch him off guard. What if someone catches you doing that? I don't want you to get into trouble. I was actually thinking about this, and I figure we can just say it was something to do with my quirk. Most people probably shouldn't just assume I'm a vampire after all. Can't I pretend like my quirk has to do with drinking blood? Like the more blood I drink, the stronger I get, or something like that? That could work. That could work, he acknowledged. But people still aren't supposed to use their quirks to inflict harms on others. I get that since we were dealing with Kachan, it's a bit of a different case, but still, just be careful, okay? I wouldn't want anything bad to happen to you. You hummed in agreement. All right, I won't be so hasty to do it next. I won't be so hasty to do that next time. I'll just punch him in the face like I did before. No, please don't that. Please don't do that either. Anyways, you chirp. I'm super relieved that Matt is the same here as it than that. I'm relieved Matt is the same here as it is back home. Dealing with numbers is a lot easier than trying to make sense of all this new information. Still, that question you solved at the end of the class really, really looked hard. Isuko remarkably we're the same page, aren't we? But it seems like you're a lot more advanced. My parents made sure I've always on the top of my studies. You sure? It's the same education. It's the same education the rest of my siblings receive, so I never thought much of it. Math is fine at all, but I hope I'll be able to do well in other subjects too, once I actually get to use the reading and writing. I'm sure you will, and, for some reason, he turned awfully red. About before, when you drank Kachan's blood. I know you have to drink blood to survive, so I just wanted to make sure that you know I'll always give you mine. Oh, he's so cute. Whenever you need it. What's his voice? Damn it. About before, when you drank Kachan's blood. I know you have to drink blood to survive, so I just wanted to make sure that you know I'll always give you mine, whenever you need it. Just don't be afraid to ask for my help, okay? Goodness, he really was an angel. Of course, you grinned back. I know I always can count on you, Izuku. Plus, your blood taste is the best by far. It does? He stammered, somehow getting even more red. Yep, you're my favorite. Oh, I see. He didn't say anything else apart from that. Perhaps because he was too flustered to think of a response. But judging by the wobbly little smile of his lips, he seemed to be taking it as a compliment, rather than being put off by your words. Oh, Katsuki had never Katsuki had never in his life suffered such a humiliation before. Hell, he cried out, slamming the front door as he angrily barged into his house. Naturally, he was making a ton of noise, and this drew the attention of his parents. More specifically, his mother Mitsuki, who came stomping towards him. Mom! Mother! We love Mitsuki in this house. Katsuki, you little piece of shit! She snapped. What's the matter with you? Yelling and slamming doors in the second you get home? Piss off, he grins. I'm not in the mood. Is this how, is that how you talk to your mother? She proceeds to grab him by the ear and pull it out, which of course just made Katsuki's shaded mood even worse. Normally he would snap back at her again, but given everything he had already transpired today, he was feeling more deflated than he would have liked to admit. Not only you Not only had you held your own fight against him before, but you somehow managed to completely overwhelm him back at school. It was the second time. The second time that Katsuki hadn't emerged victorious against you. Mitsuki must have noticed her son's downcast expression because she finally let go of his ear and frowned. Seriously, what's going on? You're even more irritable than usual. Is there something waiting on your mind? In response to her question, Katsuki's cheeks instantly turned red. Just leave me alone, he muttered, then shoved his hands into his pockets and retreated to the comfort of his room, making sure to slam that door shut as well. Mitsuki was left with a blank look in her eyes. A look that quickly turned into realization. Well, this is new. He's red as a tomato, she mused. I bet it has something to do with a girl. Oh my goodness. Oh, that was. Ah. That's so cute. Okay. Uh, 8. Um, we're going to leave this here. My throat is not giving anymore, and I think we already made like an hour or something. So let's update this. We're going to start in chapter 8. And let me just change here, there. And let's just put this on here. Okay, so anyways, so checking the music here, checking there. Hold it, there. No, no, yes, here. Well, it's going to change the song. Sorry. Yeah, that's here. Okay, so uh, how about this? Yeah, thanks for watching this and being here with me. Make sure to support the original creators. I'll leave the link to the story on the description below. And then again, if you want to accompany me reading this on live stream, I'll be doing this every Tuesday. So I think that's everything on my part. Again, thank you so much for the support. And I'll be seeing you on the next time. Thank you so much. And let me just get this right. There. So, once again, thank you very much. If you like my content, don't forget to subscribe, get the notifications on for any streaming updates I'll be doing, and that things. Yeah, and the typical procedure you new YouTubers said. Yeah. Anyways, we'll see you in the next time. Bye.